Hi, welcome back to my channel, A Life in Spain. You can see I have a green screen behind me. This is not mine, but I will be investing in one because I think we're going to have a bit of fun with it today. Just for those videos, especially if I am doing a video that is just an update on Spain, or it's, you know, how to get health insurance, the cost of health insurance. It is really handy to be able to stick stuff up here on the green screen and have you guys look at it and see it from my perspective as well. And if you're anything like me, you need big print. I also collected my new car. Yay! I got a Kia, so that was lovely. I'm like back on the road, which I have missed beyond belief. I really have. It's like I've been so dependent on everybody else. So that was good. That was good. Now, what today's video is really about is the apartment. Yeah, came across this apartment, really loved it. I came across it like about a year ago, and something just went, yeah, you could do stuff with this. This could be for you. This could be the one for you. So I would like you to see it here. So by the magic of video editing, etc. This is it. Yay! No, it's not. I wish. Alas, this is it. Yeah, so you're going to see some pictures behind that. Yes, I'm looking at a repo. Now, it is really different buying a house in Spain than it is buying a house in Ireland, okay? There is some good aspects to it, and there's also some bad aspects to it, I suppose, like there is anywhere else. If you are a seller in Spain, it is exceptionally good, the system. If you're a purchaser, it's tricky. And having just sold a house in Ireland and purchased a house in Spain, or purchasing, or hopefully purchasing in Spain, I would think the Spanish system is hands down definitely better. When I put mine up on the market in Ireland, person came to see it and they said, yeah, we want that, yeah, okay, we're going to put a deposit down. Okay, so that was Saturday, they made the offer. I accepted the offer, that was all done and dusted. And then they went off Wednesday, when they were supposed to come in and give their details in. Nothing. And I rang my estate, what's going on? Yeah, they've literally just rang me and said, no, they're not going to go ahead with a house they had previously looked at, came back on the market, and they're going with that. I was like, right, okay, so that set me back. It wasn't too much. But then the second couple I got, who eventually did buy my house, God love my neighbours, is all I can say. And I have some lovely neighbours, so my heart goes out to them. They're really, I'm sorry. If I'd have known, I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have sold it to them. They were difficult, is the nice way of putting it. They dragged their heels, they found fault in everything, they exaggerated problems, they got overinflated quotes to fix them, they battered me down on price. They were vicious. They were really, well, I should say he was, because he wouldn't allow her to deal with anything. She was CC'd in emails. Can you imagine that? Yeah. Anyways, I know his kind. I've worked with him in the past. Yeah, it was horrific. It was a really horrific experience. They put their deposit down, but they didn't close for months later. They just really dragged the whole thing and orchestrated it extremely well, so that it got to the point that they closed miraculously the day before they needed to. But in the meantime, I had a deposit accepted on said appartement. And they actually then said, sorry, it's taken you too long to sign. You're past the 90 days and we need to sell this apartment. So there's that. So I lost the apartment I was sure of getting. I am now in a predicament where I'm not sure of getting it. I'm still waiting on an offer to be approved on it, because the difference in Spain is that they can take your deposit. They say, that's great. Okay, you've made an offer. You're very serious about your offer. Great. Thank you for the deposit. That goes into a holding account. And anybody else who wants to continue to view it and see it can go ahead and do that. So while your deposit is sitting there, other people are viewing this apartment and other people are getting a look in. And whoever gets the money first and gets there first, and whoever gets the highest offer, it's taken. Now that's more in relation to bank repos. Usually when it's one-to-one, people are quite happy to accept that price fairly quickly because they're looking to either move on or they have their own time frame they wish to fulfill as well. But for bank repos, they can sit on them for as long as they like, or they can get rid of them as quick as they like. So it's quite different. So there is a difference when you're buying in Spain. I would urge every single person in Spain that when a deposit comes in your house, that you continue to put it up for sale. Do not take it off the market. Do not put sale agreed on it. I didn't put sale agreed on it, and then my estate agent did put sale agreed behind my back on it, despite my instruction not to put a sale agreed sign on it. He did, and he stopped all viewings because he said, and I quote, "It was best practice." He just didn't want a complaint made against him by the purchaser. So he really worked for the purchaser and really didn't work for me. I got what I got and it was fine. I was just glad to get away from it. I was glad to see the back of the estate agent who I thought was a friend and actually turned out not to be. I was glad to see the back of everything involved in it. The solicitor was good. As solicitors goes, actually, was very good. I can't really complain about her at all. They did a pretty good job, so, for what they do. So I go to a solicitor here and I look to buy this place, okay? And the solicitor was doing nothing. Time was dragging on and I rang up and she said, "Oh yeah, they've accepted your offer." "Oh, they've accepted my offer, have they?" Okay, then I find out, no, they hadn't accepted my offer. They'd accepted my offer as in they're agreeing to take on board my offer. So I paid €500 and now I'm in a predicament where I am waiting. Within 2 weeks, it's going through bank protocol, so to speak, till they come back to me and say yes or no. Like, yes, we'll take your offer, or no, we've had a guy come in and he's offered significantly more. So that's where I am at the moment. So hopes and prayers and all that kind of crack for me, please, on this, because it is absolute steal. I am not going to disclose the price because I don't want anybody else looking it up and going, we'll have that. Thanks very much. Bye, Rachel. So I'm not going to go into that, but it was very, very cheap. So there is a bit of a difference, all right, between buying in Ireland and buying here. So do beware. I would say if I was doing it all again in Ireland, if I was selling a house, absolutely no way would I use an estate agent. There's only one estate agent I would use and they're really good and I've heard absolutely fantastic things about them. I'll put the link to them down below because I can't remember off the top of my head, but they charge a flat rate fee of €1,500 and they work for their money. They're new guys in town. They're kind of set this up, bringing in a new way of doing things in Ireland, which is much needed because I think there's a lot of lethargy and kind of arrogance in the estate agents. It is money for nothing. It's money for old rope. The guys have to pay for their licenses and I think that's what they charge so much. So but I'm not going to bitch on about them because I just left a really bad taste in my mouth, and I've had a friend who was selling as well and she said the same thing. So where do we go from here? Well, I'm waiting to see if I get this apartment, so fingers crossed. There will be a lot of reno to do on it. Why did I pick this apartment? Why did I get myself into this? So why do I want to get myself into this? It is not as bad as it looks. For me, what attracted me was the first thing, it had nothing in it. So I didn't have to rip out florally tiles and, beautiful granny kitchens, I call them, horrible granny kitchens. I didn't have to rip out really disgusting fittings and then figure out, I have to get a skip. I have to pay for a skip to dispose of them. Who am I going to get to take them out? I didn't have to do any of that. It was all done. The bathroom, as you can see from the picture, is in pretty good nick and I will be doing a reno on that. So I'll be doing a makeover on that because actually I was going to do that similar kind of style. It was more like a Moroccan style bathroom I wanted than anything else. So this fitted really perfectly with that. So yeah, to me it was a no-brainer. There's no expense in getting rid of any of the crap in it. It was also a no-brainer because there wasn't relatively new stuff in there that just wasn't my taste. So you go in and you see these really lovely now cream high gloss kitchens and white high gloss kitchens, you know, and grey high gloss kitchens and grey kitchens, end of. And everywhere is painted grey. I didn't want to kind of go in and go, this is all new stuff and it's killing me from a point of view of environmentally as well. I'd have to keep it for a while. I'd have to live with it. I'd feel justified in living with it and keeping it. And then I'd feel really shit when I had to take it out and rip it out because it was relatively new. So I felt this was something that was a blank canvas and I could actually do what the hell I liked with it and put what I liked into it. So, and it was a challenge as well for my little DIY skills that I picked up over the years working in construction. So I kind of liked it. What I liked about it as well was a blank canvas. Absolute blank canvas. There's nothing in it. You know, the flooring is neutral in it, so I'm in no rush to do flooring. It needs a kitchen. There is plans for a second bathroom, or in my head there is anyway, but that won't be done immediately. That'll be a project for maybe later on this year or further down the year, if I get this apartment, if I get it, because this apartment is at the offer stage. So if somebody else comes in and offers more and hands over 500 euros, you know, or 1,000 euros deposit, they consider them and they consider mine, and they see which of us are in the better predicament, which is great. So do you have to get a mortgage? So if somebody came in and offered more and had to get a mortgage, I'd have it because I can go quicker. Banks like to move quick. So secondly, it's a great location. Thirdly, it's a great location. I don't begrudge anybody who comes to Spain and goes into the middle of nowhere, as I call it, and, you know, buys a couple of acres and wants to do off-grid living. Yes, I would do the same. If I was 10, 15 years younger and had a partner, I would consider that. I would say, okay, I have somebody to do some heavy lifting. More importantly, I've got companionship out there. To go out to these little villages is all well and good, and you will learn Spanish, and you'll have to learn Spanish, and you'll have to be very quick about it, because they don't speak English. So that's as it is, you know. And that's great, and I know a couple of people who have done that and they're delighted with themselves and they speak fluent Spanish after 4 years. Well done. It wasn't for me. It's not for me. I'm not coming out here to do a homestead. I'm coming out here to work, live and have a life. I said in my previous video, one of the big reasons I left Ireland was because I had no social life. I did not want to come out here and go to a small village and my social life be go sit down to the small restaurant and the small bar and the local restaurant and the local bar and go to the local market and that's it. No, I wanted somewhere that was in the thick of it, really. I have a great social scene, a really, really great social scene. My friends I've known 20 years here and I follow bands, you know, The Cages, Che, you know, Astrosonic, love Astrosonic, Las Racis, the boys, Las Racis. So I follow a few bands, and Charlie Farley, of course. Jesus, I could not mention Charlie Farley. This crazy dude, yeah. He's a friend of mine. He's like a brother, really, is the best way I can describe him. So we have a little mad gang here, and I just love it. I just really love it. I have so many friends, and it's such a lovely area. The ocean's on my doorstep. Bars, restaurants are on my doorstep. And the great thing about this apartment is that it's above a restaurant. And now a lot of people go, oh, it's above a restaurant. Oh, what happens if it's loud at night, or, you know, because it's a bar/restaurant. That doesn't bother me. I would sleep through anything as long as it wasn't two people beating the shit out of each other. Then I would have an issue and I would be up calling Guardia Civil. That bothers me, but in all honesty, noise doesn't bother me. It's not an issue for me. So, you know, it's fire ahead, do your own thing, live your own life. I like the sound of that life around. I'm a city girl. I was born in Dublin. I was born and raised in Dublin. I was born in the main thoroughfare in Dublin on Collins Street. I'm not a country person. I moved down to Naas, which it was it was the country. When I moved out, it was a bit of a culture shock. And for the first about 5 years living in Naas, it really was a culture shock. It was like there was no off licence. There was barely any shops. And so, yes, I did the cliche. I bought an apartment in a resort. Since I have been about 10, I have wanted to live like I'm on holidays. I love the resorts. A lot of people go, oh, the resorts, they're all different nationalities. Nobody speaks Spanish, yada, 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 yada. I'd say to a lot of those people, do you actually live in the resort or you just visit? You know? So I don't see the issue with that really. I think it's slightly a bit racist, if I'm honest. Like, well, not racist, but nationalist or something. How would you say it? It's not nice. I think we're all here together in the sun looking for the same thing. We're all looking for a nice, decent life by the ocean, having fun, and however we choose to live that life, whether it be in a tiny village in the back arse of nowhere, you know, where Saturday night is a meal, great. But it's just not for me. I like a bit of life around me. That's what I wanted. I've always wanted to live in a resort. I love living in a resort. There's a lot of negative press towards the resorts, and I love the resorts. I absolutely love them. I just love the mix of cultures, the mix of peoples, and the mix of languages. Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun place to live. So with that in mind, this little apartment is just perfect for me. Plus the fact it has this. But that's the big plus. A massive roof terrace. That's a 72 metre square roof terrace that I have plans for. Oh yeah, I have plans for a bar. I have plans for an art room. I have plans for a pergola. I have a hot tub that's going up there. There's a lot of things that are going up there. So I kind of want you to follow me on this journey, and I'll show you through the ins and outs of the reno of the apartment. Fingers crossed. Oh God, I have to get this apartment. I've waited so long and I've battled so hard for it. And I've lost it because of the purchasers that eventually bought my house. So that's my 25 cents worth in 25 minutes. I don't want to drag the video out too much longer, but suffice to say, I'm just checking that I did go through everything. Yes, I did on my little list. I have to do these lists because my brain is so crap. As I get older, it just gets crap, it's crap, it's crap. So yeah, no, I've gone over everything there. So I do hope you will come with me on the journey to make this into a habitable spot. It has no electricity, it has no, there is no gas connected up. There is natural gas in the area now, but when this was built, it didn't have it. So I don't have it and I don't want it. I don't really want to be on another grid. So there's electricity and water, but I don't have them. They have to be reconnected. So we're going to go into that as well on another video. So thanks for dropping in, seeing the amazing apartment I'm going to buy. I love it. I don't know, when I was in it and my son went in it with me and my son-in-law, and they liked it too. They were like, this is really nice. And it is so much brighter than it appears in these images, because it appears very dark or something in the images, and it's not actually. It's really not. I'm used to that kind of dark look from working in construction, because I was in construction for over 20 years, nearly 30 years. So I know it looks bad before it looks better, and it's going to be fun. We're going to have a lot of fun. In between, we'll be doing some trips as well to the likes of Lough Pagan for the mud baths, Rochales for the caves. We'll be all over this place, so stay tuned. It's going to be fun, I think, and I hope you like it. Thanks for dropping in and watching this week, and I will see you again next week. I have a little bit going on this weekend. I will fill you in on next week, and I'll have some footage of that. It's a little surprise detour, and yeah, I'll be back then next week to let you know if I got this apartment or if I didn't. So fingers crossed. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you again next time on A Life in Spain.